Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum dear students. This session focuses on the procedure of the lexical approach. I hope and expect by the end of this session, you would have some insights into the processes and procedures that are used in the classroom for teaching L2 when it comes to the use of lexical approach. Well, my dear students, procedural sequences for lexically based language teaching vary depending on which of the types of materials and which of the kind of activities are to be used or employed. However, all the designers of the materials and of the procedures to some degree assume that the learner must take on the role of discourse analyst. When we say discourse analyst, what does it mean? From real life context in different situations, the use of lexis and the use of different chunks of words or collocations is provided to the students, and there is a huge data that is most of the times provided through computers in the form of corpora, and the learners have to do a kind of analysis of that. So through their process of the analysis of this discourse, with the discourse being either packaged as data or that is found via some text on, while searching on computer programming, the learner would see how, or would analyze or would examine how in various contexts these lexical items or these chunks are used. Classroom procedures typically involve the use of activities that draw students' attention to the lexical collocations, and they seek to enhance their retention and use of collocations. So basically, the classroom procedures take students through the process of observation, that is to find out how in different contexts, in varied contexts, these collocations are used. And after observation, their classification, understanding which type of collocations are used in which kind of contexts, etc. And the third stage, then generalization, how those are to be generally applicable or how those can be used generally by them in their conversations. Willard 2000 suggests that teachers should re-examine their course books for collocations, adding exercises that focus explicitly on lexical phrases. According to him, they should also develop activities that enable learners to discover collocations themselves. So the role of discourse analyst, who would himself or herself discover, the lexical approach focuses on the role of the learner as a discoverer. So being in line with this approach, being in line with this theoretical perspective, when the learner is provided the opportunities to discover the collocations themselves, both in the classroom and in the language that they encounter outside of the classroom, they are more able to retain them. According to Willard 2000, the learning of collocations is one aspect of language development which is ideally suited to independent language learning. In a very real sense, we can teach students to teach themselves. Not only should they notice common collocations in the text that they come across or that they meet, but more importantly, they should select their collocations which are crucial to their particular needs. Now, every learner has a different kind of real life context, has to come across different kinds of situations in life. So these learners not only are to be prepared to be the discoverers of the use of these collocations and how they are used in different contexts, but also they should be able to examine or analyze or to evaluate which of these are more important for each of them that they would be able to use according to their particular needs. Hill suggests classroom procedures should involve the following steps. A. Teaching individual collocations. B. Making students aware of collocations. C. Extending what students already know by adding knowledge of collocation restrictions to known vocabulary. Now that the collocations are introduced to them, the third step is that the teacher also introduces the kind of restrictions that are placed on these collocations. So, for example, make your bed is a collocation that is used. Prepare your bed is generally not used. So making them aware of that. And fourthly or finally, storing collocations through encouraging students to keep a lexical notebook. Well, now this lexical notebook can be in the form of a hard copy notebook, or it can be a computer-based soft copy as well.